So yes, I've already installed WSL, but then if you haven't installed it already, we can install it, and that's what I'm going to show you. So first, you have to install VS Code. Yes, from VS Code website. So you can install it. This we are not really focusing on how to install VS Code. I think I'll show you that in other labs, but then in this tutorial, I'm not going to talk about how to install VS Code. So after installing VS Code, now there are two ways that we can install WSL. So we can go to file and then, sorry, we can go to terminal rather, terminal and then select new terminal. So you open a terminal. So, so we have PowerShell terminal, which is very suitable for installing WSL. So you type in this command, WSL, to find out if it is installed. Okay, so you can see that I've installed WSL. So when I type WSL, it has opened. But if you have not installed it, then use this command to install it. Yes. So you can see I've written the Ubuntu. So yes. So we are the subsystem, the WSL. So the WSL is a Linux subsystem on Windows. Just it's a virtual machine on Windows, providing us a Linux environment. So we can have different type of Linux environment, and particularly we are using Ubuntu. That's what we'll be using for this. But you can also decide to choose other distributions, yes, like CentOS and others. But then we are using Ubuntu. Now, after installing it, you wait for it to install. After installing the VSL, after installing it, then you can go straight to on Windows, providing us a Linux environment. So we can have different type of Linux environment, and particularly we are using Ubuntu. That's what we'll be using for this. But you can also decide to choose other distributions, yes, like CentOS and others. But then we are using Ubuntu. Now, after installing it, you wait for it to install. After installing the VSL, after installing it, then you can go straight to VS Code, or you can come back to VS Code. I think they will require you to restart it. I don't really remember the actual procedure. But then after installing it, you come back to VS Code, and then you click on this on this on this on this button. Yes, so you've seen you can have other distros, VSL distros over here, but then we are interested in um connecting to the VSL. So I've already installed it. So if you've also installed it and you click on connect to the VSL, you'll be connected to the Linux subsystem environment, which is Ubuntu in our case. So it takes some time, not very long. Then yeah. Yeah, so after installing WSL and then launching, connecting to WSL, now we have an environment for, so this environment that you are seeing is Ubuntu, WSL Ubuntu, as you can see from here. So I've already been working on some projects. So you can see my recent has some folders that I opened before. Yes. But then we'll start by starting a new project so that I'll show you how you can also set up your environment. So, so you can have, so yeah, so a README file, yeah, a README file, so that we have a README file. So in your README file is a file that gives a brief explanation of what your project is about. So we can open our file. Let me open the directory so that we will just have. So I've opened a new window for our project directory. So now we will be inside. Oh, so sorry. So I was supposed to add. Yeah, yes. So yeah. So now we are going to be inside. Okay, I think that wouldn't be prudent. So let's just, so you can either use code dot and then to take you to the new directory, or you can just go to um new window, or you can just close this folder. Let me see. Yeah, so I'm trying to open it from this same window because I don't want the record, I want this screen to be recorded. I think I set it to this particular screen. So if I leave this window, my recordings wouldn't, I will lose my recordings. So yeah, so we are back to open the folder. So we choose 11 and then we choose DSLR, then you open. I think it's still opening a new window. So let me see, without opening a new window. So let me see, new open file. Oh, should I say open folder? Okay, so I chose open file, open folder instead. So let's open this folder. So yeah, so okay, so now we have our folder opened. Yes. So I think I'm still, yeah, okay, so I think it's recording. So now we are in our folder. So, and we have our README in here. So we can add a file, we can also add another folder inside that folder, or you can just use the terminal to do all that. You can either use the GUI or you can use the terminal to interact with your project. So that is how we set up the Python environment. And for C environment, I've already set up my C environment. But then if you want to install C environment or the compiler, you do um, sudo apt update. You update your packages first, then yes, then okay. So after updating your packages, then we will install our compiler and other utility tools, your linker and other things for C programming. But I've already installed my C environment, so I won't install again. So after that, then you do sudo apt install build essentials, I think. Essentials. Yes, so I think the spelling is wrong. Yes, I think the spelling is wrong. Let me find out. So it's build essential. So without this. So yeah. So build essential rather not build essential. That is so yeah. So yes, as you've seen, I've already installed mine, so I don't get any installation again. So you can verify your installation of C by using the compiler, which is GCC, by using this. Yes, so it is already installed. Yeah, so I didn't talk about Python because Ubuntu already have Python installed, so you don't need to install Python unless you are interested in using C. So I've opened the interpreter, the Python interpreter, but that's not what I wanted to do. So let's go back to Python, Python 3. I just want us to find the version of Python installed. So yes, Python 3.1 and 3.12.3. So yeah, so you have a Python already installed in Ubuntu, so you don't need to install Python again when you use this approach. Otherwise, other forms of doing it, you have to install Python. I think for PyCharm, you need to install Python if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So you can find out about them from other places, YouTube or anywhere you can get help from. But installing this is very easy. Um, yeah. So after installing this, one of the important things you should do is to install the extensions for both C and Python. So as you can see, I've already installed Python debugger path and then Python um so the Python extension for formatting and other things. So yeah, this is this is it. And then we will talk about Makefile later. It's one of the important tools for us to automate building of projects. Yes, you can see I have some recommendations. And so I've also installed C++, and other things that are not really useful for this course. So yeah, install. So how do you install packages? Just search for it. For instance, we are interested in installing the C package extension. When you search for it, you get like a list of packages. So you look at the verified packages and then install them. So yeah. So you can also install the WSL packages um for it to help you manage your WSL environment easily. So I have installed this already. So you can find it from the extension manager. So yeah, that is it. So after doing all that, now we are ready to write our code. It's that straightforward. Yes, we are ready to write our code. So if you have any questions, you can comment about these questions and I'll answer them. Or you can also ask them during the lab sessions. I'll answer them for you. So in our README, we use markup language to write README files. You can read more about it on GitHub. On GitHub, yes. So let me just write something small later, or you can also I'll create public repository for it so that if you're interested in contributing and maybe developing a README for us, we'll be very happy and thankful to you. Yeah. So this is a DSA tutorial or tutorial yeah, repository. Let me see that. Oh, repository. So So yeah, so after doing that, now let's go straight to labs. So how do we run Python, Python code or Python program? So it's there are, let me say, there are several ways of doing it. And particularly, we are going to use two of these ways of doing it. But later, when we learn Makefile, we will try to automate all of these to make our building of projects easier. So first need to create a file, let's say a Python file for let's say that one that we did. Okay, so in this tutorial, as I said, I'll be using C more, but then other labs will be using Python. So let me also add a C file right away. Let's see. So we have these two files that we can write our code in. Let's start with Python, and then after solving all the problems in Python, we also look at the ones in C. So, so as for, so I was told you've already taken Python courses. So let me say prerequisite for this courses, fair knowledge in as written in the slides, um, in the manual, sorry. Fair knowledge in Python and also fair knowledge about how object-oriented programming works. Yes. So I'll try my best. Maybe I'll find a time and then make videos, and introductory videos on OOP and not Python, but then OOP, so that it will be easier to follow. Now, yeah, I forgot to share the lab manual with you, but then in the presentation here, the presentation, let me show you a presentation. A presentation. So from the presentation, so from our presentation to the last slide, we have these questions to take care of, so you can note them down. Finding maximum, counting the occurrences of a certain number in an array, and also checking if an array is sorted. So we are going to find maximum in an array, counting the occurrences, check if an array is sorted or not. Okay, so let's continue from here. So we are going to, as I said, we are going to find maximum in an array. So as I said, there are ways that we can choose to, if you are using Linux environment, you can just indicate this first line that I'm writing is telling Linux, or let me say telling, okay. So this line is telling our operating system that, okay, we are going to run a file, and this is the interpreter we are going to use. I'm sorry, it's supposed to be Python 3. So this is the interpreter we are going to use. So you can verify if the interpreter is is available by using this bind verify the path Python. So you can see we have Python here. So it is installed. It's installed. So the operating system will look for this and then execute the pro pass whatever content in here to this interpreter, and then the interpreter will interpret it and then give you an output. So you have other interpreters like the Bash, which is commonly used in Linux environment to automate for automation and also running scripts. Yes. So basically that is it. Now, as you already know, you already have strong background in Python. We just go straight away and then define the function that will help us find our max. So let's say find max, then find max. We have an array. We take in an array, and we are going to return a maximum value. So okay, so we are not interested in this. So yeah. So first, I'm going to talk about our documentation. So in this tutorials that we are going to do, we are going to use a particular type of commenting, but I'm not going to do it here. I would like you to go and find out about PEP 8 style of documenting in Python. Documenting in Python. So this will help you to document your code in such a way that people can easily find out or read about what your program is about. Yes. Mhm. So PEP 8 style of documenting. Right. So it's an assignment for you. All your code that will be given to you, all the assignment that will be given to you. Yeah, you're supposed to write the code in PEP style, PEP 8 style. Otherwise, you score zero. Is that okay? So find out about it and then make sure all your programs, all your codes are well written. This is not from blog, but then personally for the labs, all the codes are supposed to be documented using the PEP 8 style of documenting. And if you are wondering how am I going to know, it's very easy. You have test 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 you to actually to to find out to test if your code is conforming to the PEP style or not. So away from there, let's talk about how to I won't really explain how this code is going to be written, but then I'll give a code straight away explaining how the code is working. Yes. So we are given an array. We are given an array. I think in later tutorials I'll spend a lot of time to actually explain the concept before we go to the code. But for today, let's just sense it. I think very simple, right? So in an array, we have so many ways that we can find our maximum. One of the ways that we can find the maximum is sorting the array. So we can sort our array. So um, let's declare another array. Let's say temporary array, and then call it um, sorted sorted array. So the reason why I'm using this is because I don't want to modify the array. Otherwise, I could have just used this. I could have just used this. Let me comment it out. I could have just used this. I could have used array dot sorted. So this would have, but this will modify the array. Is that okay? But this wouldn't modify the array. So we use that one instead. And then after sorting the array, the maximum will be what? The last element in the array. it will be the last element in the array. So we can return the last element in the array, which is 10, and then we have this to be returned. So yeah, but then let's do analysis of how this algorithm performs. Is it really suitable for us or it isn't? So looking at this code, yeah, so one of the things that we are supposed to worry about is how the array is sorted. Sorry. See, I've been programming in C, so I thought I was writing C. So so let's analyze this. Now for the sorted algorithm in Python, it is n log n big O notation. So it is big O of, let me say, big O of n log n. Yes, yes. So we'll learn more about big O notation in later tutorials. But for now, big O notation is a notation we use to measure the performance of an algorithm. So the Python algorithm for sorting, you can find out more about it, is n log n. Yes, which will make our algorithm n log n. Now, let's think about other ways of solving this and compare how this will perform against them. So the reason why, so returning this is just in constant time. So actually it would have been n log n plus the constant time, but then yes, it's approximately n log n because comparing 1 to n log n, 1 is nothing. Yeah. So let's comment this out. Let's comment this out. Let me bring this comment here so that it will be like this is all part of the comment. Okay. This is all part of the comment. So let me say this and then it's another. Yeah. So let's comment that one out. So another way of doing this is looping through the array, right? We can loop through the array. So we can say for element in array, right? Element in array. Now, it means that we need to declare a variable to hold the current value that we have as our maximum. So currently, well, obviously, our maximum initially will be the first element in our. So our current value, yes, the current maximum value is the first value because we don't know the maximum yet. Now, I didn't really look at the possibility that if an array is not passed to this function. So in your programs, you can actually cater for that by looking at, is this an array? If it is not an array, then this doesn't return anything, right? So this doesn't make sense because you can't index a non-array, I mean like normal variable. So yeah, so for L in array, we compare. So if L is less than or equal to, if it is, so we are finding max. So if yes, so we are going to find out if this is greater than or equal to array. If that is true, so I forgot to bring the if. So if this is true, then we do something else. What do? We say now our new the current. So the current max, you can call it like current max. So the current maximum value is our element. So this will fine. This will work. This will work fine. Yes, this will be fun. So we can test our model. So let's assume this is a model. So we can test our model by just saying um this name is equal to, let's say, main. If this is true, then what do we do? Then we print. Okay. So this is our test code. Oh, made a mistake here. If this is true, so this is our test code, right? Test code. So I can declare, let's say, an array to be anything. Let's say one. Sorry, an array rather. So an array, is a continuous block of memory, but then in Python we have dynamic arrays. So we have dynamic arrays in Python. So I'm using list in my array as my array, sorry. So yes, using a list in my array. But then you can have any type of array name, it will work fine. So array of numbers, five, any 7. So if they are comparable, then you can have your 5, 7. So yeah, so this is what we have. So if array is equal to this, then we can print, or we can say maximum. Maximum of array is equal to find max. Find max. Find max array. So in this, and then we'll print. So then we'll print maximum array. Okay, so now we have this. So now let's see if it works before we continue. Right. Let's see if this works. So what we have right now here, if you try to run, let's try and run it and let's see what we get. See, you're not having lab one, but the permission denied because this is not an executable. So we can make this an executable and then run it as as, as an executable. Or we can just pass it to the Python interpreter and then it will interpret it for us. So let's do that and see what we get. Oh, sorry. So I think we made a mistake over here. This is supposed to be. So it means that we need to declare integer. Let's say I is equal to 0. Oh,